an intruder's shadow falls upon a terrified woman. Her young son is awakened by the commotion. Watching his mother in danger, a cold fear grips his heart. The robber mercilessly strikes the boy to the ground. Unexpectedly, the other man, Butch, refuses to stand for it and kicks his own partner to the floor in defiance. The accomplice is completely baffled, cursing loudly in disbelief. Then, Butch's next action is even more perplexing. He tells the boy to pick up the gun and aim it at him, encouraging him, "Be brave, that's what men do." Seeing the boy's hesitant action, Butch smiles with a strange sense of pride. Just then, a kind neighbor arrives with a shotgun. In a split second, Butch takes the boy as a hostage. His partner demands to take the woman instead, but Butch insists. The boy comes with him. At the dawn after Halloween, Butch and his accomplice vanish with the child. What began as a brutal crime slowly unfolds into a tender, heartbreaking tale of redemption. Butch and his accomplice are fugitives who have just escaped from prison, but their hearts beat to a different drum. The accomplice is violent and cruel, capable of any evil, while Butch lives by a strange code of his own, one that never harms women or children. Because Butch ruined his accomplice's twisted fun, the man loses control, firing his gun wildly. He shoots through a water tower, blasts a hole in the car roof, and even vents his frustration on the back of the boy's head. And this single slap once again provokes Butch. He tells the boy to hold the steering wheel, then calmly turns to his armed partner and makes a vow.
2 seconds, I'm gonna break your nose. That's a threat.
Once again, he protects the strange boy in a man's way. The accomplice finally backs down. Stopping in front of a store, Butch gets out to buy some things. He tells the boy to point the gun at the accomplice.
If he so much as moves, you pull the trigger. Right here. See? Put your finger on it. You're fucking crazy, man.
But a child is naive and easy to trick. With just a few words, the man gets him to lower his guard. The man seizes the opportunity to snatch the gun. He finally has a chance for revenge. But it turns out there are no bullets in the gun. He was tricked by Butch. Just as he is about to grab the boy bites down on his ear, then quickly gets out of the car and runs into a cornfield. Losing sight of him only makes the depraved man more excited. He wants to play a game of cat and mouse.
You best come here, boy. You know I'm gonna find you.
The boy is terrified. He scrapes his knees until they bleed but doesn't dare make a sound. Just then, Butch crawls up beside him, signaling him not to be afraid. On the other side, the man is still on his excited hunt.
Hey, boy.
The man scoffs. "I bet there are no bullets in your gun." But unfortunately for him, Butch had planned ahead and bought some. The boy sprints desperately from the cornfield. A gunshot cracks the air behind him. He is frightened beyond words. But Butch gives him the right to choose, asking if he truly wants to come with him. The boy looks around at the broken world he knows, and then he softly nods. Later on the road, Butch cracks open a soda for the boy. The boy asks uncertainly, "Are you going to kill me?" Butch replies gently, "Of course not. We're already good friends." This outlaw, it seems, carries a flicker of warmth. He asks the boy, "Ever been in a time machine?" The boy shakes his head, confused. Butch says matter-of-factly, "Haven't you realized that what we're in is a time machine? I'm the captain, and you're the navigator. The front is the future. The back is the past."
If life's moving too slow, you want to project yourself into the future, just step on the gas right here. See? If you want to slow her down, well, hell, you just step on the brake here, and you slow her down.
As he talks, Butch deliberately speeds up, making the boy incredibly excited. This harmonious scene almost makes us forget they are a kidnapper and a hostage. Outrageously, the two of them even go to steal a car together. Butch has his eye on a farmer's Ford. He first uses the boy Phillip to check out the car. After confirming there's a key, Butch goes over to start it. But Phillip, having drunk a lot of soda, has to take a long pee, but the farmer has already spotted them. Butch tells Phillip to hurry up and get in the car, but he was a step too late. The farmer clings to the window, refusing to let go. Phillip sees Butch raise his handgun and worries he will kill again. He quickly bites the farmer's hand. In his own way, he saved the farmer's life. Actually, Butch only intended to scare the man. The two have imperceptibly become a well-coordinated team. In conversation, Butch learns that Phillip's father hasn't been home for many years and has never been there for him. So, Butch expresses this sentiment.
Me and you got a lot in common, Phillip. The both of us is handsome devils. We both like RC Cola. And neither one of us got old man worth a damn.
It turns out they are both kindred spirits. Their bond grows even stronger. Passing by a small town, Butch decides to go to a store to buy Phillip some pants. After all, he was only wearing shorts when he left. The shopkeeper enthusiastically shows Phillip some options, but he has his eye on a Casper the Friendly Ghost costume. It's something he's always wanted, but his mother never allowed it. Meanwhile, the TV is broadcasting news about Butch killing someone and kidnapping the boy. The owner recognizes Butch and wants to call the police, but Butch's stare compels him to silently put the phone down. Butch doesn't have time to pay for Phillip's costume and quickly runs out to the car, but 2 police cars have already appeared at the entrance. He has no choice but to recklessly plow a path through. In the end, Butch wrecks both police cars, then turns back to pick up Phillip. He saw Phillip keeping something under his clothes.
Buzz, you little shit! Shoplifting is crime!
Up to you, Buzz.
You never get away with this, you little mister!
You ain't so friendly.
After leaving the small town, they hide behind a small, dilapidated shack by the highway. Phillip worries that Butch will be angry that he stole the costume, but Butch offers fatherly guidance and tolerance.
Let's understand each other. Stealing's wrong, okay? But if there's something you need bad, and you ain't got the money, then it's okay to take a loan on the item.
Phillip hesitates to change clothes in front of Butch. Someone once told him he was short, and it stuck with him. But Butch looks at him sincerely. You're not short. You're normal for your age. For Phillip, it's a rare moment of confidence. Anyone who knew the truth might mistake them for father and son. Even the sheriff tracking them seems confused. He can't understand the kidnapper's motive at all. Butch drives while Phillip navigates, reading the map with quiet focus like a pro. They play a game with an oncoming car, pretending it's a time-traveling whale, honking and waving wildly. The other driver plays along, grinning as he honks back. But inside the trailer that car is towing is the sheriff. Through the eye holes of Phillip's ghost costume, the sheriff locks eyes on his target. Then the car turns sharply, giving chase. Butch senses danger. He swerves off onto a rugged trail through the woods. The police car, still being towed on the trailer, can't handle the turn at that speed. It breaks loose. Butch and Phillip escape. Elsewhere, the governor addresses the press. He reassures Phillip's mother and vows to the public they'll catch the criminal and rescue the boy. Later, Butch and Phillip reach the end of the road. Butch offers Phillip a choice: go back the way they came or continue on foot. He pulls out a weathered postcard, a picture of wild, snow-covered Alaska. It's where I've always wanted to go, he says, the last wild paradise. Phillip doesn't want him to get caught, so he chooses Alaska, but they're low on supplies. They'll need to stop at a nearby farmhouse. Let's play a game of trick-or-treat, Butch suggests. Phillip suddenly goes quiet. He tells Butch his mother is a Jehovah's Witness. He and his sisters never celebrated holidays. Every Halloween, he watched the other kids from the window, wishing. Butch nods, absorbing it. He pauses, then crouches slightly, meeting Phillip's eyes.
Now, Phillip, I'm asking you. I ain't asking your mother, I ain't asking Jehovah. You want to go trick-or-treating or not?
Phillip nods in confirmation. They arrive at a farmhouse. Phillip puts on the ghost mask, and with Butch's encouragement, he said,
Trick or treat, ma'am.
Well, I guess since Halloween was yesterday, you're just gonna have to trick me.
And just like that, Philip's first time trick-or-treating is a great success. Butch also tells him to never underestimate the kindness of ordinary people. They drive on. They stop on a slope, and Butch gets out of the car to check the road. Sure enough, there's a police roadblock ahead. Philip, alone in the car, accidentally hits the gear shift. The car starts moving on its own, and Butch loudly encourages him.
Hey, Philip! Step on the brake! Oh! Hell of a job, Philip! Never had a doubt.
This gives Philip his first taste of pride behind the wheel. Butch, using brake failure as an excuse, successfully hitches a ride with a traveling family of 4. They manage to pass the checkpoint without raising any suspicion. The family welcomes them warmly, unknowing of their dangerous story. A fragile peace fills the ride as they talk and laugh along the way. Even the children are playing joyfully in the back. Until a drink spills, a moment that shatters the calm. The mother's face hardens. She yells, striking her son. The warmth in the car evaporates, replaced by a cold anger, and Butch stiffens in his seat. He has seen this before, and he will not allow it to happen again. In the end, the family of 4 is kicked out of their own car. Butch, with a chilling politeness, helps them unload their luggage. The husband reminds him to be gentle with his new car.
You know I will, Bob.
Driving away, Butch speaks with a touch of respect. He's a good man. He took it for his family. Anyone else, I might have shot him. It was just a casual remark, but a seed of doubt was planted in Philip's heart, a seed that would blossom into something more later. Is Butch a hero? Or something else entirely? On the road again, Butch asks him, as a member of your faith, besides not celebrating Halloween, what else does your mother forbid you from doing? Philip lists them. No Christmas, no birthdays, no parties. He's never been on a roller coaster and has never eaten cotton candy. The list of forbidden joys leaves Butch stunned.
You know, Philip, you have a goddamn red, white, and blue American right. Eat cotton candy, ride roller coasters.
I do.
Hell yes, you do.
Faster, Butch! Faster!
That joyride brought Philip more than just a fleeting happiness. So what shaped this complex man, so kind to a boy who lacks love, yet so harsh to adults who mistreat children? Through the police's investigation of him, we begin to find the answer. Butch grew up in a brothel with no real childhood. At the tender age of 8, he killed a wanted criminal while defending his mother. By 12, his mother was gone. His father was a violent drifter who brought only beatings and trouble into his life. Later, Butch stole a car and was sent to a juvenile detention center by a police officer, the very same officer who is now the sheriff hunting him. The sheriff had hoped he could save the boy from that unhealthy environment, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. Butch never felt a father's love, nor did he ever know the warmth of a true family. So now, whenever he sees a child being mistreated, it strikes something raw inside him. He's not just protecting those children, he's protecting the broken part of himself. Later that evening, in a quiet diner, Butch and the hostess share a brief, flirtatious moment. On the way out, Philip laughs heartily at this strange adult ritual. Butch drives the car into a vast cornfield. This will be their resting place for the night. Philip is starting to feel a little homesick. Butch promises him that once they reach Alaska, he will personally ensure he gets home safely. He asks him to make a special list, all the things he has always wanted to do but was never allowed. The night was quiet. The wind was gentle, just like the perfect world this criminal hid deep in his heart. Suddenly, a strong light shatters the peace. Startled, Philip quickly wakes Butch up. Butch's eyes snap open, instantly alert. The friendly farmer, Mark, invites them to stay the night. In the morning, he prepares a hearty breakfast for them. His wife is especially fond of the little boy, Philip, and their grandson has Butch doing somersaults with him over and over. Butch discovers their old phonograph, and so, to the beautiful music, he and the hostess share a whimsical dance. Even the children start to dance along in delight. The moment is perfect. But suddenly the smile on Butch's face freezes. The radio is broadcasting a report on his escape and kidnapping case, and Mark is listening intently. Butch calmly turns it off. He reveals his identity and quietly warns Mark not to do anything rash. They will leave immediately, he says. Mark is visibly terrified, but just before they leave, the grandson innocently asks Butch for one more somersault. Mark, agitated, yells for his grandson to come back, but the little boy doesn't listen at all. The farmer grabs him and strikes him hard across the face, and in that single violent moment, Butch completely snaps.
Maybe he gets excited sometimes. He don't hear everything you say. You make me sick to my stomach.
Everyone is terrified, including Phillip. Then he tells Phillip to aim the gun at Mark, while he himself does 2 more somersaults with the boy. The scene becomes incredibly awkward and tense. He forces Mark to say, "I love you" to his grandson.
I know you a good man.
No, I ain't a good man. I ain't the worst neither. Just breed apart.
In the end, Mark submits, doing as he's told. Butch then ties them up with rope and tape, not with malice, but with the practical fear of a fugitive worried they will call the police. He even leaves a small knife on the table, a silent way for them to free themselves once he's gone. But Phillip doesn't see any of this. In his young, terrified mind, there is only one possible ending to this scene. He sees Butch not as a protector, but as a monster about to commit an unspeakable act. And in that moment of tragic misunderstanding, believing he is doing the right thing for the sake of justice, the boy tearfully picks up the gun and shoots the only true father figure he has ever known. Phillip throws the gun into a nearby well and hurls the car keys deep into the bushes. This, he believes, is what must be done for the sake of justice. Before Butch leaves, he places a small knife on the table, a way for the family to get free. Then, wounded and in pain, he goes after Phillip. It is a vast, empty, open field. Phillip runs ahead in a panic, with Butch slowly, painfully, walking behind. Not only is Butch not angry with Phillip, he even praises him, calling him a hero. He says perhaps tomorrow's headlines will report that he saved that family.
Only killed 2 people my whole life. One hurt my mama. One hurt you.
Phillip climbs up a large tree. Butch stumbles after him and finally sits down under the tree, taking out the weathered Alaska postcard once more. On the back is a simple message his father left for him. His father's words are few, but they clearly express a hope that his son might one day visit beautiful Alaska. And it turns out, this was his true purpose for breaking out of prison. This is the real reason he is heading to Alaska, because although he despises his father, he still desperately longs for a father's love. Phillip finally lets down his guard, climbing down from the tree and tearfully apologizing, but Butch says with a quiet relief, "I'm glad it was you who shot me, and not someone else." He believes, in his own way, that everything happens for a reason. In an instant, the police surround the area. What follows is the most heartwarming, and also the most ironic, police negotiation. The conditions Butch demands are not for himself, but for his hostage, Phillip. He asks a mother, who already loves her son, to promise to truly be good to him. It sounds absurd, but this absurdity is enough to serve as a wake-up call for all parents. His demands are simple. Let Phillip ride roller coasters, let him eat cotton candy, let him celebrate birthdays and Christmas, and let him go trick-or-treating. These are all the simple joys his mother never allowed. He even demands the mother make this promise out loud. And perhaps only at this moment does she understand what her son truly needs. This is the last gift from Butch, like a father, can give to Phillip. Phillip is moved to tears. Butch shoves the trick-or-treating money into his hand and tells him to raise his hands and walk slowly towards the crowd. But halfway there, Phillip sees the sniper's scope, so he turns around and runs back. His mother screams his name, but he doesn't listen. He emotionally hugs Butch, the only father he's ever known. Then, he tries to lead Butch to surrender, believing it's the only way for him to survive. But halfway there, Butch stops to give him one last thing. The sniper, from a distance, thinks he's pulling out a gun. The moment the postcard leaves his pocket, the sniper fires. Heartbroken, unable to help. In the end, he and his mother leave by helicopter. Ironically, this was the very experience Phillip had once dreamed of, the very promise Butch had made him. The film closes with a beautiful, almost fantasy-like ending. As Phillip's helicopter lifts off, Butch, wounded, still looks up, no longer in pain. He watches the boy fulfill his dream, and in that quiet, fleeting moment, Butch finally finds his own perfect world. He had grown up unloved, shaped by brutality, and turned into an outlaw. Yet, a man like that still longed to protect innocence. When he met Phillip, fragile, restricted, but full of untapped spirit, Butch saw himself, and he gave everything to protect what was good in the boy. He never made it to paradise himself. But in fulfilling Phillip's hope, he found redemption. This is what makes the film so deeply and beautifully ironic. In that final scene, Butch wasn't threatening, he was negotiating. And the image of the two of them together was warm, sincere, even tender. But in the eyes of the police, it was only danger. Tell the story with heart. Tell the story with sincerity. I'm Pixielow, journeying with you, so we both may grow. See you in the next video.